Well, that's a nice way to start off a 4-game series. Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Phillies Stats Show videocast. We're recapping last night's game between the Philadelphia Phillies and the Milwaukee Brewers as the Phillies defeat the Brewers final score of 4-3 as a very shaky top of the ninth inning there by Hector Neris. 40 plus pitches. That was just so scary. Now, guys, before we get into this video, please subscribe if you have not yet. Please turn the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video, and let's get into this. So, the BCIB coming up big for the Phils. Last night, Vinny V, he was very, very good, right? You saw what he did. That was awesome. He needed an outing like that. Didn't start off so well there in the top of the first. Lorenzo came coming back off the IL, and he comes back in big style, right? He hits a solo run to center field. That was a bomb. I tell you what, that was just absolutely destroyed. That was a no-doubter off the bat of Lorenzo Cain, but how about that? Bottom of first inning, we come right back. We get two back as the BCIB hits a home run. And like I said before, Vince Velasquez, a very, very solid outing. 6 innings, only 4 hits allowed. Only the one run, right? That was the home run of Lorenzo Cain. He was very, very decent. We all know he does give up a decent amount of walks, but he was very, very good last night. Pick up the scoring summary, top of the first inning. Lorenzo Cain, he homers on a fly ball to center field. His third home run of the season. That was a bomb, as I said before. It's now 1-0 Milwaukee in the first. So Vince Velasquez definitely made a few mistakes there. He was not locating his pitches well in that first inning. He just was not very kind to Vinny. Then in the bottom of the first inning, we come right back as we take the lead. The best catcher in the game, Realmuto, homers on a deep fly ball to left field, way back there into the second deck. A 2-run shot also scores Brad Miller, his third of the season, and the Phillies now take a 2-1 lead. We all know he's the BCIB, and he had a great swing on that. That ball was just absolutely destroyed, and he got all of that one, folks. There's no doubt about that. Then in the bottom of the second inning, Roman Quinn, his second triple. Back-to-back days, right? He triples on his sharp fly ball to left field. I tell you what, that just would have been a double for any other player. We all know Roman Quinn's speed. Was able to get into third base. So Duber Herrera reached on a fielding error, comes around to score, and the Phillies now extend the lead. Now a 3-1 ball game. So let me just get this straight. So now Roman Quinn has the same amount of triples as he does singles this year. Think about that. He has 2 singles and 2 triples. That's so insane. Roman Quinn showing off his speed. Then we have Vince Velasquez grounding out the first base, and Roman Quinn speeds home, and the Phillies now extend the lead 4-1. That was in the same inning there in the bottom of the second. Crazy, right? It's just like the speed of Roman Quinn is insane. And how about Vinny V getting the job done there? I tell you what, that was a great bottom of the second inning there. Great bottom of the first and great bottom of the second. Unbelievable. Then in the top of the 8th inning, Travis Story, it's a sacrifice fly to center field. Colton Wong scores, and it's now a 4-2 ball game. So Connor Brogdon, he's looked really, really shaky. Ever since he had that horrible appearance out of the Phillies bullpen against the San Francisco Giants, he has not been the same pitcher. There's no doubt about that. He's looked very, very shaky and very, very, I don't know. He's not really looking anymore. He's getting ahead of a lot of guys, and he just can't seem to put him away. And then obviously Garcia grounds into a fourth out to Diego Gregorius, and Lorenzo Cain scores. They tried to get the double play, couldn't get it there, and it's now a 4-3 ball game. And obviously Garcia is picked off at first base to end the inning. And I was sitting out in right field. He was the right fielder in this game, and boy, they were chirping at him. There's no question. I was chirping a little bit too. Of course, I always make sure to be respectful. But Matt Joyce, another hitless performance, now batting 103, which is terrible. He was ejected from the ballgame for arguing balls and strikes. So if you argue balls and strikes, it's an automatic ejection. So there's no debating that. Brad Miller, he's continuing to smoke the ball, right? He scored the run on the JT homer. I understand he only got 1 knock last night, but tell you what, he's had a lot of solid contact. There's no question about that. He's smoking the baseball right now. He looks great. He hit 310 on the year. JT, the only 1 knock, but it was a big one. The 2-run shot to give us the lead. Diego Gregorius with 2-hit night. Now batting 256. He needed that. Alec Bohm, another hitless performance. I don't know what's going to give with this guy. He's pressing. He's now batting 221. I really hope he wakes up. I love nothing more to have this guy succeed, but he just doesn't look good. He just doesn't look good. He's not striking out a whole lot, but he's not getting on base either. That's the thing. If he maybe had a 350 on base percentage, I'd say, yeah, I'm not too worried about him. But the fact that he has on base percentage as low as it is right now, that's pretty bad. It's around the 260 mark. He needs to get that higher. It's pretty bad. And Nick Maton still looking for his first big league homer. I was hoping to see it last night, but I don't know, Tuber Herrera getting a knock and legging out on the fielder's choice there. He's got to start in right field last night. He did okay. He did. He fine. You saw he hustled in. I mean, every time the inning was over, he hustled in. You'll have to see that. Scored the run there after reaching the base on an error, as I said before. Roman Quinn with the triple. I'm going to go back to it. I mean, it's a crazy. He has 2 triples and he has 2 singles on the year. Crazy. And he had triples back-to-back nights, which is just, so funny. But Vince Velasquez getting the job. I love that. I mean, just fundamental plays, right? RBI ground out. Just try to get the guy home. You all know Roman Quinn has a good amount of speed. Just try to get the guy home. But take a look at Vince Velasquez's start last night. 6 innings, 4 hits, 1 run. The run was earned. That was a home run to Lorenzo Cain. 2 walks and 6 strikeouts. He was very, very good. Like I said before, I mean, the 2 walks, I mean, that's not, I mean, he needs to, get that under control a little bit. I mean, it wasn't like he walked, 5 guys, but 2 walks, I mean, that's not terrible, but we all know he likes to allow the long ball. But I read something this morning. Todd Zlecki said that he thinks that Vince Velasquez has earned another start this upcoming Saturday. But we'll see how that goes. But nevertheless, I mean, you can't really argue. Vince Velasquez has been pretty decent his last couple starts. There's no question. He hasn't been as bad as he was in years past. I still don't trust Vince Velasquez. We all know, I remember last year against the Toronto Blue Jays, I think he had a similar outing. I think he actually threw like 6 scoreless innings, and everyone seemed to think he was back on track. In his very next start, he had like a horrible performance, pitched like 2 innings, like 5 runs or something like that. He was absolutely terrible. But Sam Coonrad continues to be absolutely outstanding out of the bullpen. A amazing 1.38 ERA as he strikes out the side last night. Fantastic. I tell you what, this guy is really, really just doing a great job. But Connor Brogdon, like I said before, his struggles continue out of the Phillies bullpen. Another rough appearance. He needs to clean it up. And he seems, like I said before, getting ahead of a lot of guys that he can't seem to really finish the job and put them away. He's getting a lot of guys to 2 strikes, but he can't seem to finish the job and put them away. And that's his biggest problem. But Hector Neris earns his 6th save of the season as he pitches a 5-out save. Good for Hector, right? I mean, we all know that he's a little bit shaky, but how about a 40-pitch 9th inning, a 40-plus pitch 9th inning, which is so scary. So scary. I mean, I'm going to go back to it. Not only is Connor Brogdon strong to put guys away, but Hector Neris, you saw he had a few times to end the ball game, had him 0-2, and he ends up, walking him, and then, it's just like finish the job. Finish the job. How hard it is. I mean, Lorenzo Cain, they said he went around to end the ball game, tried to check his swing. They said he went, and that was the way it ended there. So Lorenzo Cain strikes out to end the ball game. That was close, too. I was concerned that they weren't going to call it. But boy, oh boy, what a scary way to end the ball game there with the bases loaded. But thankfully, the Phillies were able to get out of it after a lead-off double by Daniel Vogelbach, the Milwaukee Brewers, the first baseman. So just crazy. As we're going to take a look at around the divisional scores. Last night was Monday, so we didn't really get to see a whole lot of division rivals play. The Mets did lose 6-5 to the Cardinals, which you love to see. They fired their hitting coach, Chili Davis, after last night's ballgame, and they also fired the assistant hitting coach, so they're both canned. So the Mets, they need to start getting it going, right? I mean, there's no question about that. You saw they blew the lead last night. Lucchesi, he did not have it. There's no question about that. The Mets are just about as big of a joke as the Phillies are. I mean, they really are. I mean, they're not playing well, and none of these teams in our division are playing well. They're not. They're all just struggling right now. They're really, really struggling right now. So even the Nationals, even though they're in first place riding a 4-game winning streak, but they just played the Miami Marlins. I mean, I understand the Miami Marlins are not necessarily a bad team. They're not necessarily a great team either. So you have to keep that in mind. It's going to be very interesting to see what the division rival Nationals do against the Atlanta Braves that they have to play this week. So what a good way to start the 4-game set, right? I mean, you get the W, you got the ace Aaron Nola going tonight, and I'm going to go back and give it a props to Vince Velasquez. He did very, very well. After a lot of pressure, I mean, this is a lot of pressure on Vince Velasquez, and honestly, who knows what would have happened if Matt Moore went out there? But no, I'm not a big fan of Matt Moore. I don't think you guys are either. But who knows what would have happened if Matt Moore had to go out there? I mean, who knows, right? I mean, who knows what would have happened? It would have been treacherous. It probably would have been much, much worse than Vince Velasquez did. But who knows? Because Vince Velasquez also, has showed plenty of times to us that he's just not very good. But last night was not one of those times that happened early in the ball game. He didn't really seem to start off too well. But he really, really settled down and he used his stuff well. 6 strikeouts in 6 innings. He could throw a decent amount of heat. There's no question about that. So a little bit of injury updates. Bryce Harper scratched from the starting lineup last night. The sore wrist, right? We all know it's an issue in St. Louis last Wednesday. He was hit by a pitch off his face and it deflected off and hit his wrist, and it's apparently he's in a lot of discomfort. I mean, you saw he was running. You saw a couple nights ago, Sunday night against the Mets, he was running third base, and he rounded third, and was I don't think he was going to go home, but he was just we all know you round the bag, just in case, and he slipped while he was rounding the bag, and he fell on his wrist and apparently re-aggravated it. So yeah, that's not good. And Girardi said he's hopeful, quote, hopeful that he does not go on the IL. That's the last thing this Phillies team needs is for our best player, our best offensive player to land on the IL. We all know Harper has a 400 on base percentage. I mean, he's hitting like 317 right now, so he's having an MVP type season. So the absolute last thing this team needs is for Bryce Harper to be out for an extended period of time. And even if he were to go on the IL, I don't think it'd be too long. Of course, we all know it'd be at least 10 days. But this isn't a huge deal, but we need him to rest up. And I think, as disappointed as I was at last night's ball game. As disappointed as I couldn't see Bryce. I think it's important that we rest him up to make sure that he's fully healthy, because the absolute last thing we need is for him to be hurt. And it makes sense, right? You saw he started off Sunday night great, and then the final couple of at-bats he looked really, really weak. So it made sense because he was playing hurt. But good for him stepping up and saying something, right? Because the absolute last thing we need is for him to go down. Because it happened plenty of times in his career where Harper's been hurt and he does not say anything to the coaches, and then he goes out there and it's just like he doesn't look healthy. You saw he did it in 2016. Majority of that season, it was speculation. It never was proven, but I think it was. He didn't look healthy. There's no question about it. He did not look healthy, and even in 2018, he didn't look fully healthy either at the first half of the season. So we need a Harper fully healthy. Another thing I forgot to mention. On April 28th, I celebrated the 2-year anniversary of the video cast, right? And if you all know, Phillies House was established on January 21st, 2019, but the video cast, my first time ever appearing, video cast-wise, showing my face, was on April 28th, 2019. And, last year I made a video about it because it was during the shutdown, a lot of time on my hands. I mean, I didn't really think it warranted a video, but I think it warranted me talking a little bit about it. So I can't believe it, doing 2 years of this, right? And y'all remember I was wearing this jersey in my first video. This jersey means a whole lot to me because this jersey was my first jersey I ever had. I wore it, my first year covering the Phillies in 2019. Every single video you'd see I wear this jersey. I used to have a different red hat. This is a new hat I got in 2020, beginning of 2020, because the old Phillies hat I used to wear in the videos just kind of got old and kind of, it was outside a lot, so I decided to get a new Phillies hat. But this jersey is original, right? I mean, this is the old jersey. This jersey means a lot to me, because I've worn it in so many videos. I've worn it, I think, over 200 times. I just celebrated that, the 200th time I've worn this jersey. So it's amazing. I think I've worn it like 202 times in the video. So it's just crazy, right? So this jersey definitely means a lot to me. But, I really have grown a lot, right? You saw I've gotten more confident. I've started to, express myself better. I have more enthusiasm than I did back then. Feel free to go out and check out that video. I think it was called Face Reveal. And I was kind of scared. I didn't really know how it would go at first. I thought that maybe I wouldn't upload that video, but it's crazy how much times have changed, right? I mean, I've gotten much, much better since then, and I think I've really grown a lot. And thank you to you guys for pointing things out, things they need to work on, things they need to improve on. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you guys so much for all the support. And I've really enjoyed, fun 2 years here. I really, really have. It's hard to believe it's already been 2 years. I mean, it's flown by. 2019 season was really, really fun despite the team's performance. 2020 season was weird, and especially with the horrible Phillies bullpen. And this year has been pretty fun so far. The team's performance has not been as I hoped, but just covering the Phillies, right? I mean, I think the Phillies, performance is a bonus. I often say that. I love what I do, and I understand I get really upset when they lose, but at the same time, I just love making videos regardless if they win or lose. I really, really do. Now, is there occasionally a time where, especially recently, right? I mean, you saw that game on Sunday night. I was really upset to make that video. I was really angry. After I did that, I felt much, much better. You saw that game against San Francisco Giants as well. And there's a few times I'm really, really frustrated with this team. But most of the time, I'm so excited to make a video regardless of the team's performance. And I often say, the team's performance is a bonus, right? It's a bonus. It doesn't really define my happiness of doing this. I love doing this because I love doing this. I don't love doing it just because of the team's performance, of course, right? So let's go Phillies. We got game 2 tonight. Aaron Nola on the mound, 7-5 the first pitch. Lauer, Nola. Then tomorrow night we got Prella and Anderson. Anderson going against his former squad, the Brewers, and Brandon Woodruff on Thursday, breaking out the Baby Blues for the first time. 1-5. Zach Wheeler, first time ever appearing in a game with the Baby Blues. I'm really excited to see Wheeler in the Baby Blues because we never got to see him pitch in the Baby Blue uniform back in 2020. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you have not yet. Please show the notification bell. Please like this video, comment on this video, share this video. Check out the social media link in the description section at Phillies House of Instagram, TikTok, Finance, Instagram. Car text 267-225-3292. Email me, phillieshatstove@gmail.com. Lauer and Noah tonight. Let's go, Phillies. I'm Luke, and I'll talk to you later. Let's go, Phillies. I'll see you guys.